Hi, this is Usha. Welcome to Rathod's IAS. In this lecture, we are going to see current affairs of 31st March 2021. In this lecture, we are going to discuss 7 topics which are very much relevant to UPSC. So let's get started with our discussion and let us see first article. Title says surge in cases, a cause of concern. So this is statement which is given by center. So now let us try to discuss important details of this article, and we are going to see some important things which are highlighted in this article. So this article will be important regarding health, which comes under GS paper 2. So now let us have a detailed discussion on this topic. So if you see context, it mainly says that the surge in the number of COVID-19 cases. So this is statement which is given by our Niti Aayog. Okay. So Niti Aayog said that India registered 56,211 new infections within 24 hours. That means there is large number of increasing or surging of cases that is seen regarding this COVID-19. So if you see some details regarding this article, it mainly says that number of infections are seen mostly in 10 cities. They include Pune, Mumbai, Nagpur, Thane and Bangalore. So in these areas, we are recording highest number of cases here. Okay. So we are seeing highest number of cases in these cities like Mumbai, Nagpur, Thane, Bangalore and Pune. So in these areas, there is highest number of cases that are recorded. So out of 10 districts, 8 districts are reporting highest share of new COVID-19 cases, and one important state that is contributing to highest number of COVID-19 cases is Maharashtra. Okay, and in Mumbai it mainly contributes about 10% of country's new cases. So these are some important details which are discussed in this article. And now let us see what is need, what can be done. So first one is center mainly urged there is a need of urgent action to curb this surge of this COVID-19 cases, and state had been asked to ramp up testing. For example, they need to go for RT-PCR, that is reverse transcriptase polymerase chain reaction test. And also states they need to ensure effective, and as well as they need to go for isolation of infected peoples, and they need to go for tracing their contacts such that we can isolate those peoples. We need to go for strengthening of public and also private health resources. And finally, we need to ensure COVID-19 appropriate behavior. That means we need to wear mask, we need to go for hand sanitization, and we need to go for maintaining of physical distancing, etc. So this is very important to decrease this number of cases. Okay, and we can also go for vaccination to important or priority group peoples also. So these are some important things which are mainly discussed in this article. And now let us see next article. Title says researchers find new butterfly species. So this article mainly focusing on new butterfly species. So this article will be important regarding environment and ecology point of view, which comes under GS paper 3. And from this area you can expect prelims based questions for sure. So now let us see first map here. So this new butterfly mainly found in Agastyamalai in Western Ghats. So where is this Western Ghats are located? So as you all know, in this area we see this Western Ghats are present, and in this area we have Eastern Ghats are present, right? So in Western Ghats, this new butterfly species mainly discovered, that is in this Agastyamalai. So this Agastyamalai which is located in this area, and here we have Periyar, and we have Annamalai Palani and Nilambur Palagat area, and we have Bandipur Nilgiris here, and as well as Malnad Bhadra here. And here, as we know, Eastern Ghats and Western Ghats, they meet at Nilgiri, right? So these are some important areas that you need to remember. Okay, so this is map about this Agastyamalai. So now let us see context why it is in news. So if you see context, it mainly says that a group of lepidopterists had added a species to expanding list of butterflies in India. So now they came up with identification of one new butterfly species. So if you see some details of this article, it mainly says that, so this discovery of this species name is Nakaduba Sinhala Ramswamy Sadasivan. So this is new species of butterfly. So it is mainly found in Augusta Malay. Augusta Malay is located in Western Ghats but not Eastern Ghats. Okay. So this butterfly was discovered a decade ago, but it found place in Journal of Threatened Taxa now. So now let us see some facts regarding this butterfly. So it has some line blues or these are small butterflies. They are belonging to subfamily of Lycanidae. Okay, so the distribution mainly ranges from India and they are also seen in Sri Lanka and as well as even Southeastern Asia, Australia and Samoa. So these areas also we can find this butterfly. And now let us see some facts regarding this Augusta Malay. So this Augusta Malay Biosphere Reserve, it is UNESCO World Network of Biosphere Reserve, and this reserve established in year 2001, and this reserve straddles the border of Kollam, Thiruvananthapuram districts in Kerala and also Tirunelveli and Kanyakumari districts in Tamil Nadu. So this is spread in two states, that is Kerala and Tamil Nadu. So it covers mainly Sherduneg and as well as Pepera Wildlife Sanctuary. So and also some parts of Neyar Sanctuary also present in this Augusta Malay Biosphere Reserve. So this Augusta Malay is home to Kanikaran. So this Kanikaran, it is one of oldest surviving tribes of the world. Okay, so in this way these tribes also will be important and they will also may come in film statements regarding this Augusta Malay. So this is about this article, and now let us see next article. Title says global leaders push for new pandemic treaty. So this article mainly focusing on this new pandemic treaty. So now let us try to understand this article in a great detail. So in this article we are going to see what is context, that means why it is in news, and also some important details and significance of this new pandemic treaty. So this article will be important regarding international relations point of view, which comes under GS paper 2. So now let us have a detailed discussion. So context mainly says that world leaders pushed for a new international treaty to prepare for next global pandemic. Okay, so mainly to prepare for next global pandemic we need to come together. So because of this, world leaders they push for new international treaty. So this is called as new pandemic treaty. And now let us see some details regarding this article. So who are mainly participated? So leaders from 25 countries, from European Union and also even WHO, which sought to get some ground rules down in writing this to streamline speed up of reactions to future global outbreaks. So whenever there is any future pandemic that appear, so we need to react to that very fastly. So because of leaders of 25 countries, European Union and WHO, they mainly sought for this new international treaty, mainly to respond very fast whenever there is time to react regarding this global pandemic or global outbreaks. So if you see some facts regarding this treaty, so important aim of this treaty is to ensure that information and as well as virus pathogen technology which is helpful to tackle this type of pandemic. Okay, and they need to go for sharing of vaccines also here. So this is one important aim of this international new treaty. And why this treaty is needed now? So if you see, this article mainly says that this is time mainly to act. So world cannot afford to wait until pandemic is over to start planning for next one. As we know, we are facing this COVID-19 pandemic now. So this is global pandemic. So because of this global pandemic, we saw health crisis, we saw economic crisis, not only in one country but also each and every country is facing this. So because of this, whenever we are going to have pandemics in our future, we should not wait until pandemic it is planning for next one. So because of this, we need to plan forward only to look after whatever medicines, whatever technologies, whatever things that need to be taken mainly to prevent this pandemic, that is our future pandemics. Okay, why we need this? Because without internationally coordinated pandemic response plan, we will remain vulnerable. So if at all in future, if there is any pandemic that attacked, we need to prepare earlier only. So because of this, we need this internationally coordinated pandemic response plan. Okay, so this is about this gist of this article. And now let us see next article. Title says Manipur retracts letter on refugees. So as we know, Manipur which is sharing boundary with Myanmar. So in Myanmar military coup that is happened, right? So because of this military coup there are many people, especially police officers, some soldiers and as well as some civilians, they started coming into India. They are starting crossing Indian border, right? So because of this we are already facing some issue regarding refugees of Myanmar. They include Rohingyas. So now because of this military coup in Myanmar, what happened, there will be increased refugees into India. So it is one of cause of concern for this northeastern states. So because of this, recently Union Home Ministry gave one important direction that so states which are sharing boundary with Myanmar, for example we can say Arunachal Pradesh, we can say Mizoram, we can say Manipur, here they need to come up mainly with some type of thing, some type of thing that that these refugees they need to be sent back to their country. So this article mainly talking about this. So this article will be important regarding international relations point of view, which comes under GS paper 2. And now let us try to understand this article in a great detail. So before that, first let us see map. So here we have Myanmar and here this is India and here we have Bangladesh. So states which are sharing boundary with Myanmar, here is these states are sharing. Okay. So here we have Mizoram, here Manipur, here Nagaland and Arunachal Pradesh. So these are 4 states which are sharing boundary with Myanmar here. So because of this military coup that happened here, so people they are mainly coming out of Myanmar and entering into India. They are crossing Indian border. So it is one of important cause of concern. So now let us try to see this article why it is in news, because Manipur government has withdrawn a letter which is issued last week. So this letter mainly directing officials of Manipur government mainly not to set up any camps for Myanmar nationals who are crossing border into India and to politely turn away those seeking refugees. So whoever people who are crossing India's border here, so there is no need of going for setting up of any camps. We need to send those refugees politely. Okay, so this is context. And if you see some details regarding this article, it mainly says that, so this letter mainly says that refugees, they should be identified and they need to be deported to Myanmar. Okay, and here in this way Manipur government mainly plan to provide them employment under NREGA scheme also. So under this MG NREGA scheme, it is Employment Guarantee Act, right? So under this scheme, government will provide employment especially in rural areas. So whenever they are providing employment, it will create some assets in that villages such that it will lead to infrastructure development in that villages also. And they will be also providing some income security to people who are from rural areas. So now Manipur government also decided to plan to provide some employment opportunities under this MG NREGA scheme for those refugees. So if you see state governments which is mainly taking all humanitarian steps mainly regarding these refugees who are come from Myanmar, and also taking refugee to Impal, and Myanmar it is continuing to provide all aid for these refugees, and Myanmar government it is also treating these injured Myanmarese nationals also. So this is some important thing. And now let us try to understand background of this article. So recently 1 week back we already discussed this article in our Hindu news analysis. So Ministry of Home Affairs has written to Chief Secretaries of Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram and Arunachal Pradesh. So these are states which are sharing boundary with Myanmar to take appropriate action as per law to check illegal influx into India. So after military coup, a subsequent crackdown in neighboring country that led to several police forces and as well as some army people and as well as some civilians, they started entering into India. They are crossing Indian boundary. So why central government gave this type of letter? Because state government had no power to grant refugee status to any foreigner, because India is not signatory to United Nations Refugee Convention of 1951 and also even its protocol of 1967. So because of this order issued by CENTA. And now let us see some facts regarding this Refugee Convention 1951. So it is United Nations multilateral treaty. So this Refugee Convention defines who is refugee and also talks about some rights of individuals that need to be set and who are granted asylum and as well as responsibility of nations to grant asylum. So everything will be discussed in this Refugee Convention 1951. And next one is it also grants some certain rights to people, okay, who are fleeing persecution because of race, religion, nationality and as well as affiliation, and also to particular social group or political opinion. India it is not member for this Refugee Convention of 1951, and this convention also set out with people do not qualify as refugees such as war criminals. So it also provides some visa free travel for holders of travel documents which are issued under this convention. So in this way you have to open your map. Already we saw map, okay, so once again you have to open your atlas and see your map. So this is gist of this article. And now let us see next article. Title says work with India on funding infrastructure, says Nirmala Sitharaman, okay, mainly in this NDB, that is New Development Bank. So this article mainly talking about this New Development Bank. So this article mainly focusing on economy point of view, which comes under GS paper 3. And you need to know some facts regarding this New Development Bank that might be potential prelim statements, okay. So if you see context, it mainly says that Finance and Corporate Affairs Minister urged this New Development Bank to consider working closely with India's new development financing institutions for funding infrastructure. So here recently in 6th annual meeting of this NDB, so theme of this 6th annual meeting is New Development Paradigms, the evolution of infrastructure. So in this way our Corporate Affairs Minister and Finance Minister urged this New Development Bank to consider working closely with India's new development financing institutions, and finally we need funding for our infrastructure. So if you see some details regarding this article, it mainly says that this New Development Bank has so far approved about 18 projects in India, okay, and it also deals with some emerging loans of $2 billion to support health spending. And also it is mainly happened because of economic recovery aftermath of this COVID-19 pandemic. And in this context our ministers also said that India supplied 63.9 million doses of COVID-19 vaccine to 80 countries, and out of this 63.9 million, 10.4 million doses they are given as grant, that means gift. And now let us see some facts regarding this New Development Bank. So it is a multilateral development bank operated by BRICS states. So BRICS includes Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa. And this New Development Bank was agreed by BRICS leaders at 5th BRICS Summit which held in Durban, that is located in South Africa in year 2013. So after that, within 1 year, they went to establishment of this New Development Bank in 2014. Headquarters located in Shanghai in China. And this New Development Bank set up to foster great financial and as well as development cooperation among these 5 emerging markets. So what are roles and functions of this? So first one is NDB will mobilize resources that will be helpful for infrastructure and as well as sustainable development projects in this BRICS. And also other emerging economies and as well as other developing economies also, they will provide some loans or resources for infrastructure development. And next important function here is to supplement existing efforts of multilateral and regional financial institutions for global growth and development. So in this way, it will also provide some multifacial as well as regional financial institutions. It will also provide some global growth also. So these are some important facts that you should remember regarding this article. And now let us see next article. So before seeing this article, I want to make a small announcement on this platform. So if you are preparing for UPSC 2022, so we came up with one excellent course, that is Current Affairs package along with mains answer writing practice. So if you are talking about this current affairs, it is very important to clear UPSC. So when you are targeting for this 2022, you need to cover at least 1.5 years current affairs, and this is right time to join this current affairs package course to cover 1.5 years current affairs in a comprehensive manner. So if you are talking about this mains answer writing practice, without proper answer writing skills, you cannot clear UPSC for sure. Okay. Mainly students who are beginners, especially freshers, they ignore about this answer writing practice. So they may be thinking like, I will be start writing after completing NCERTs, after completing some basic standard books. But this is not a right approach for this UPSC. You need to practice on this answer writing skills on day one of your preparation itself. Okay, and if you join this course, we are also conducting prelims test on weekends along with video solutions. So in this way, this course is exactly focusing on demand of UPSC. Okay, so details of this course are given in description box. So if you want to talk to me, you can also talk to me on this number. Number here is 8074765513. Okay, is it clear? And now let us see next article. Title says Good Neighbors. So this article mainly talking about India-Bangladesh relations. So we had discussed number of times regarding this India-Bangladesh relations. So this article will be important regarding international relations point of view, which comes under GS paper 2. So now let us try to discuss this article in a great detail. So why this India-Bangladesh relationship is in news? So recently our Prime Minister visited to Bangladesh to commemorate 50th anniversary of War of Liberation, that is Liberation War of Bangladesh of 1971. And it is also centenary year of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman also. So because of this, our Prime Minister visited Bangladesh. And next one is this meeting also showcased some deep history and that is shared by these two nations and what are plans, future plans and future challenges they are facing ahead. And if you see some details regarding this meeting, so in this context, here leaders paid homage to nation's founders. So millions massacred by this Pakistan military regime in 1971, and this also includes 4,000 Indian soldiers also who lost life in this Bangladesh liberation war. And if you see some recent ties between India and Bangladesh, two leaders they built on December 2020 in virtual summit. They talked about to improve connectivity, to come up with infrastructure projects and come up with framework of cooperation on trade, and as well as MOU signed regarding sports, education and as well as disaster management. So this is about some recent ties. And now let us see some more details here. So our Prime Minister mainly pushed to conclude this which is a long pending land boundary agreement in 2015 and finally accept international tribunal verdict in favor of Bangladesh here. So in this way, whenever we had this resolution of this long pending land boundary agreement, so it also resolved 40 years old maritime dispute here. So if you see issues in our relationship between India and Bangladesh, we have some areas of issues. First one is TISA, water sharing, security connectivity development, refugee crisis and as well as implementation of NRC and as well as Bangladesh active partner of BRI. So these areas we need to want a solution here. Okay, so this is about this article. And now let us try to see map here. So if you see map here, we have Bangladesh. So which are states having boundary with Bangladesh? Here we have West Bengal, here we have Assam and here we have Meghalaya and here we have Tripura. Okay, so these are some important states that are mainly having boundary. Okay, so now let us see next article. Title says A Road to Progress. So this article mainly talking about women empowerment. So this women empowerment, it is one of important area of UPSC. So you can expect many questions from this women empowerment side in your mains in GS1 and also in GS2. So this article mainly talking about cooperative societies. So how women empowered in these cooperative societies by taking example of white revolution. So this article will be very important regarding GS paper to under society, social issues, etc. And now let us try to understand this article in a great detail. So this article mainly talking about women dairy farmers. So if you're talking about Women's History Month in March, okay, so we celebrate this Women's History Month in March. So in this month, we celebrated some achievements of women dairy farmers in contributing India's white revolution. So it is one of greatest celebrating here. So by this women contribution in this white revolution has been increased. So this happened despite around of these dairy farmers, they are owning only small holdings. So if you're talking about dairy farmers, they are only small holdings. So beside that, they are having some 3 to 4 cows or buffaloes, and they are going for this dairy products, right? So typically household mainly have 2 to 5 cows. So success of this dairy cooperative models that were at heart of Operation Flood. Operation Flood, it is mainly that leading to increase in milk production in India. So finally, because of some enhanced backward and forward linkages in dairy value chain, so now small farmers, they are mainly freed from ditches of middlemen, and they guaranteed some minimum procurement price for milk. So if you see some data regarding this, it mainly says that, so recently International Development Research Center indicates that 93% of women farmers, they received training alongside financial support, and they succeeded in their ventures. Only whenever they are having some financial support and also some training, then only they will succeed. So if at all women who are having only financial support, so success rate is 57% itself. So because of this, here National Dairy Development Board, which organizes farmers orientation programs across country. So in this way, this farmers orientation programs, they mainly train these women farmers in regarding fields of scientific best practices on animal health, and as well as fodder quality, clean milk production, and also accounts of management. So everything training will be given under this National Dairy Development Board. So if you see some facts regarding this article, it mainly says that according to latest data, more than 1,90,000 dairy cooperative societies, they are present across country, and approximately about 6 million women members, they are working under this. And study conducted on women dairy cooperative society members across Rajasthan. So this study mainly highlighted that income generated through this dairying mainly leads to 31% of women, they have converted their mud houses into this cement structures, and about 39% of women, they had constructed their concrete sheds for their cattle. So in this way, whenever we are having this women-led cooperatives, that will provide some fertile grounds for grooming women from rural areas of leadership positions here. So in this way, this is one of important step that taken, women who is breaking free from traditional practices. So this is about women empowerment regarding this white revolution. And now let us see some of challenges here. So first important challenge here is whatever information that is present in this field, that is asymmetric. One people can know better information, one people cannot know better information. So access to resources, it is also one important cause of concern, because when we are comparing with large farmers here, small and marginal farmers, they can get only resources of 50 to 70% when we are comparing to large and medium farmers. And marketing is also one of important challenge which is mainly facing by these cooperative societies. So this is gist of this article. I hope it is clear. And now let us see mains question today. Today I gave you a lengthy question. So if you see question, it mainly says that India linked with Bangladesh are civilizational, cultural, social and economic. So you need to discuss present areas of cooperation along with concerns, and also explain where should focus lie. So this question mainly asking about present areas of cooperation. So this is first part, and second one is you have to also add a note on concerns, and third one is you have to give way forward. So this is demand of question, and you need to write answer within 250 words. So by this we are concluding today. I hope you enjoyed this lecture. Please subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to like, share and comment my videos. And don't forget to enroll this current affairs package. Thank you so much.